Hello, my name's Simon Cade and this is DSLR Guide. Today is just going to be a short episode talking about these batteries here. Now my camera, which is the 600D, takes these batteries here, the LP-E8. This is the same battery that you get in the T2i and some of the other smaller, less professional models of the Canon DSLRs. Cameras like the 60D, 7D, 650D and 5D Mark II, 5D Mark III. Those cameras will take the LP-E6, which is a bigger, more powerful battery that generally lasts a bit longer, and that's one of the main selling points for the 60D over the 600D. Now this right here is the battery that came with my camera, the official Canon one. Now the problem is, for video, these don't last that long. You probably will get about an hour out of them, depending on how much you're using it, how the screen brightness, all that sort of stuff. But for video, they really don't last that long. So you're going to want to get some to upgrade, unless you're obviously using it for less than an hour. Now, I've got two here, and one of them's in the camera, and these are MaxsimaFoto batteries. So they're not the official Canon batteries, because the official Canon ones cost about £60, which is a lot of money. And these I heard good things about them, so I decided to go for the cheaper option and buy these, and I got 22 for £20. So I've been using these batteries for a while now, and to be honest, I'm very happy with them. In terms of value for money, they far exceed the official ones, with only one small drawback, which I'll get to later. So in terms of how long they last, I could not tell. Which, if someone gave me a bunch of numbers of how long they'd lasted, there would be no way you could tell which one was which, whether they were official or not. Because to be honest, they charge with the official Canon battery, and they don't take any longer to charge. They don't take any longer to run down. Now I haven't actually timed it, so this isn't a completely scientific test. But in terms of real world use, I'd be amazed if you could notice a difference. Now a year from now, it'll be interesting to see whether the official Canon ones are still going strong and whether these ones have depleted a bit. But we'll see how that goes. So I've got 4 total batteries here now, which I think one day I'll upgrade to 5, but for now that's definitely good. That gives me plenty of time. Most times I won't need to use all of them, but if you're doing a big shoot, it's good to be able to have 4, because that means that you'll be able to get at least 4 hours of battery life out of it, and then if you've got power, then you can very easily charge one while the other one's in the camera. So with 4, you would in theory never run out. Now the one drawback with these Maxima batteries, which could be considered quite a big drawback, but is that they don't have the chip that the official ones do, that tells the camera how much battery is left, how much power is left. So whereas on the Canon ones you will have the little diagram showing whether it's got 3, 2 or 1 bars of battery life left, these give you no indication at all. From the start they just say it's completely full. You've got 3 bars all the way through to about 1 minute before the battery dies, where it will start to go red and it'll show that it's got 0 bars left, and then about a minute later you'll have to change the battery pack because the camera will just be completely dead. Now for me this isn't that much of a big issue, unless you're going to be doing a lot of long interviews. Let's say you're doing a 10-minute interview with someone and you don't really know when your battery's about to die. You've got a rough idea because you think you might put it in, say, an hour ago, but you're not sure. Then you've got 2 choices. Either you can just switch it out way before it dies, which means you'll have less battery power, or you can just wait till it dies and just hope that you're not using it when it dies. If you're rolling and it suddenly pops up telling you that the battery life is getting low, then you know you've got probably less than a minute to stop recording, which and replace the battery. So for some situations this will be fine. You know, if you're shooting a short film, 9 times out of 10 that's not going to be a problem. But it's if you're doing a long interview where you can't just say, oh excuse me, can I just change the battery? Or if you're doing a concert or something like that where you really can't just stop rolling. So that could be an issue. But for me, it's not worth the extra money to just to get that feature, because in every other aspect these are just as good as the Canon ones. So what I've done here is I've marked them 1 to 4, just with the permanent marker, which means that I can very easily see that number 1 is my official Canon one, just in case I need to be able to see how much battery life I've got left. But otherwise I've got 2, 3 and 4. The idea being that I'd charge them all up the night before or in the morning, and then I'd have 4 fully charged batteries, and then I'll put number 1 in, and then I'll use up number 1, take it out, look at it, see number 1, okay, so then I go on to number 2, and then if next time I take out number 2, I can see that number 1 is already dead, and number 3 and number 4 are fully charged, so, and then the next logical step is to go to 3. So this means you're not fumbling around batteries trying to work out which ones are charged, which ones aren't charged. You know exactly which one to get, and they're very clearly marked, so you know which one to go for. I also do this with my SD cards, so they're all clearly marked so you don't get mixed up. So just to conclude this video, I'd like to say that these are very, very good batteries, especially for the price. They stack up pretty well compared to the original Canon, minus the one feature, and I would say that makes them well worth the fraction of a price that it costs to buy these as opposed to the original Canons. Some people are skeptical about whether you should go for the third-party ones, but I'm very confident and I'd buy these again. I wouldn't choose any other brand, and especially not the original ones, because I think they're well worth the price and good value for money.